Hi, we are here day 3 at ISE. I am with Julian Fernandez from Epiphan Video. Julian, how's it going today?
It's going great. I think we're still on the upswing. It's been a great show, and we're just seeing more and more energy every day, which is kind of amazing given all the fun we're having in Barcelona and everybody on their feet all day. But it's been really positive, and it's been really fun to see a lot of folks that we haven't seen in a long time.
I know it's great to finally get people connected back together. And one thing I've noticed is that usually on towards the end of the week, you start to get on the downward swing. People start having shorter meetings. It's still just going full throttle over here right now.
I think there's just so much of that pent-up energy after, we were talking earlier, some other folks that were telling us, I think this is the first real post-pandemic show where, we don't have as many COVID concerns or fears there. It's just people are really excited to get out, see folks, hopefully see things that are new here at the show, but I know that hasn't always been in great supply across the board. We've been happy that we've got a lot of new stuff, and it's the energy around it has been palpable.
That's awesome. So why don't you kind of tell us a little bit about Epiphan, like how you guys play into the higher ed vertical?
Sure. So higher ed is actually one of the largest markets for us, and somewhere that actually was where I discovered Epiphan in my past life. We've really been producing devices that I'd say we do 4 things really, really well. We capture, we enhance, we stream, and we record. So we started with that capture bit with these HDMI to USB, or at the time VGA and DVI to USB capture cards that are in things you might use every day, like those airport detectors that we both went through in the Nashville airport to get out here. So it grew into this very natural space of, well, if you're capturing, you might as well record it. If we're recording, we might as well send it somewhere. And with the growth of some of these CMS platforms and distance education and kind of creating reinforcing content for learning, it was a very natural fit in the classroom. And that started with partnerships like with Crestron, now with QSYS, which is a new thing we've announced here at the show, and even with Extron, that if you call them up, even though they make that SMP device and you ask them, they've got a module to control our encoders, because we just have such a passionate fan base in higher ed that knows they can rely on our devices to really capture every moment of class to make sure that students have that reinforcement post-class where they can go back into a Panopto or a Kaltura to rewatch the class, or even internally designed CMSs. And the other thing we see in some schools, like we were chatting over a month ago now, feels like last week, with the folks at the University of Michigan, that they told us point blank at the start, we've got a lecture capture system that works, but we've got a lot of guest speakers on campus. How do we stream? How do we record those events? And they use the Pearls there. So it's a really flexible appliance you can do a lot of things with.
Yeah, I would agree. I know during the pandemic, you all really were a big key piece of our pandemic response. We used the Pearl Mini as a one-button studio, set it up with a camera, a nice mic kit, lighting kit, and the production, all-in-one production studio with a touch screen was clutch for us, because we were able to set up different scenes. Like if you had faculty that wanted to have slides or other content, they just pressed a button and made it happen with a picture-in-picture, and it honestly was seamless and could not have been easier. So kudos on that product.
That's what we love to hear from all of our customers, and I think you described it so nicely there. It's seamless, it's accessible, and it really lets everyone, I hate using slogans, but we have this big thing on the side of the booth on our website that says broadcast without barriers. And again, calling it slogans not fair. It's really truly what we believe, that we want to make this accessible to everyone.
Oh yeah.
So that way you can create, your faculty, your students, they can create great looking content that's engaging, because we know in the last year with the pandemic, video's now everywhere. Everybody's doing something on video. We're sitting here on video, but we're using this technology to make it easy for us to capture something that's really gorgeous and displays our brand well, displays your brand well, and lets folks know that when they're in the university, it's coming from they're getting what they paid for, and the professors are able to share their knowledge in a way that reflects their professional experience.
Exactly. I mean, we never want the technology to get in the way of teaching. So, and I think you guys are key in that role, where that just doesn't happen with your stuff.
That's exactly where we want to be. We want to make it seamless for you, and I've talked a lot about different partner integrations, and that's a big part of what we do. So we want to make it seamless. We got to work together. We got to work with everybody. We have to let you deploy our technology in your environment, either standalone or in tandem with a classroom system, to really deliver that experience. Because if it's, hey, here's this new box, tell the professor to do this before class and press that, they're going to try to, they have the best intention, but they've got a lot going on. They're not technologists.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's it's one of the most frustrating things when something quits working, because you know that faculty member is standing in front of a room of like 30 or 40 students waiting for the lecture to start, and they're just standing there like hoping that it comes on. So
100%.
whenever we can get that kind of rock solid, seamless experience, it's a win for everyone.
This is about where I'm going to duck under my chair, because if anything does go wrong in Nashville, I live directly between BC's office and where some of their class buildings are, so I might get a phone call and I'll be hiding.
Yeah, oddly enough, we had to come to Barcelona to finally meet. In fact, you live like 2 blocks from where I'm at all day, every day.
So we've probably passed each other walking to lunch. And
without a doubt. So, Julian, what all do you guys have going on at ISE? Kind of what are some of the highlights?
So some of the big highlights, I mean, if you tuned in last night in the live stream, you got them all. We, as our partners at Microsoft who joined the event said, we really eat our own dog food. We said, hey, we're a streaming company, we do recording, we do enhancement, we make better video. What better way than to do a live stream announcement from the show floor? So we're showing off here, releasing later this month, which is February 2023. You'll be able to download the latest firmware for our Pearl devices, what we've been talking about, what BC's used in the classroom and for that capture. Those are going to now support greater NDI-HX, so you'll be able to do more channels on our Pearl 2, our larger device, as well as bring that support to the Pearl Mini, or kind of middle device that's been most popular in higher ed for that lecture capture. So rather than just using SDI or HDMI cameras, you can now bring in network sources via NDI. We have also are showing off our new line of AVIO Plus capture cards, which we won some awards both from Tech and Learning and from Commercial Integrator on. We took that original product that's always been evolving with the company throughout the years and added greater ability to do some scaling on the device to set your input resolutions, as well as bringing in breakout audio support, so you can bring in a 3.5 millimeter audio.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Capture device and bring more flexibility there. We even see a lot of schools that, hey, maybe the Pearl and the appliance-based capture is not right for us. They'll use those AVIOs and feed it right into the PC that they're using for Panopto or Kalturos. There's a lot of little applications, not just in the classroom, for those. And then the last bit, I mentioned that that big company, or as one of our former colleagues like to call it, that small company based in Redmond, Washington, that we all know and maybe love, called Microsoft. We've announced an integration with Microsoft Teams that we co-developed with Microsoft, where we virtualized that capture card concept. We're able to join your Teams meeting and extract individual participant feeds via SRT. And then, if you create a production in a production tool, whether it's our Pearl, our Unify Cloud version, or vMix, OBS, whatever your production team's using that takes SRT, you can then send that feed right back into the Teams meeting. So if BC and I were sitting in our homes or offices in Nashville and not walking the block to do this in person when we were there, we'd be able to see the output as well as have our conversation and do the whole thing in Teams.
Absolutely, yeah, we got to see it when we were doing kind of the pre-show walk the other day, and it's actually kind of what we've been asking for the past couple of years, where we don't have to rig it up with several different devices and hope that all the satellites align and things just work. It's there, it's fantastic. Y'all have hit a home run with it.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, we're really excited about it, to the point that that's what really let us do the show yesterday, how we could bring in Brody from Toronto to join us live on air while we're all in Barcelona. George on our team, myself, were kind of the mobile reporting crew. Started outside, said, hey, here we are in Barcelona. We're on George's iPhone, joined into a Teams call, and Dan's able to pull HD video out of it. And then we can go over to QSC and do a walkthrough and chat with them in their booth and talk about that integration, all from Teams.
It's fantastic, and it's a seamless experience, which is what makes everyone's life that easier.
I just love you keep saying those words.
I know.
It's a seamless experience.
I'm just trained. I'm just trained real well, I guess.
I mean, it's funny though. I've never used that in our marketing. That's purely from your experience using the product.
Yeah,
That's been a lot of the fun getting to know you here at the show. I keep. I've been at Epiphan almost a year and a half now. Just discovering more and more happy customers that are doing these incredible things with our devices, and everybody's using them a little differently, but they all come back to that. It's seamless, and I can deliver this incredible content my way and my process.
Awesome. Well, Julian, how can folks get more info from you if they want to reach out?
So you can head over to epiphan.com, check us out on social media. We have a fantastic YouTube channel that will not only share everything you need to know about Epiphan, but Dan, who's producing our show right now from Ottawa while we're sitting in Barcelona, Dan, George, well, both Georges, Birchall and Herbert, are on the show, and they're
Hey,
there's
Dan.
Dan giving the wave. They're always producing a really fantastic live stream every couple weeks, every month, just talking about what's going on in the industry and staying updated. Because while we make these great products, but really it comes down to who we are as a company and what we believe in, and just we all really love creating content, creating video, really making that video experience better. So we live it, and we do it every day and are really excited about it.
That's awesome. Well, Julian, thanks again for the time. I really appreciate it and hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
I hope so too. Thanks, BC.
Awesome.
It's been great chatting with you.
Thanks, man.